Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. It's week 3, counting down the weeks now, only 49 to go. My mission is going fairly successfully at the moment, one more week left to January. Now today's video, I've actually wanted to make this video for quite a while now. I've had this idea for a couple of months, and it's talking about university, considering whether university overall is actually worth it or not. Now university, obviously, it's a lot of money, it's an investment, it's a lot of time and effort, but at the end of it, is it worth it, all that money, all that investment, all that time and effort? I've done a bit of research and I've compiled a few facts and figures to sort of give an argument as to whether university is or isn't worth it. I'll also leave a link to the articles and the websites that I use so you can have a look at them. And yeah, let's get into the video. So this is quite a formal video, to be fair, even though I'm wearing a really bright jacket. But anyway, okay, so here are some of the facts and figures. A total of 532,300 people entered UK higher education in 2015. That is a tremendous amount of people. Young people in England became 3% more likely to enter higher education as well. Universities made a record 1.9 million offers, and more applicants than ever got into their first choice. That's a total of 384,100 people. And also, the acceptance rate grew 0.9% to a total of 74.1% for UK applicants of all ages. All of those facts and figures that I just read out, they were found on the UCAS website. So again, like I said, I'll leave a link in the description for that. So the next fact, again, I don't disclose that these are actually true. These are all just what I found on the internet about an hour ago. This is an article published on The Independent. They shared a survey. Oh, my phone went off, sorry. That is unprofessional. A survey was conducted by a website called My Voucher Codes. Again, I don't know how accurate these are, but they surveyed over 1,200 students, and they were all freshers. But 27% of those freshers had either already dropped out of university or they were considering dropping out in the summer or even before the summer. Now those are all down to different factors. That can be not enjoying the course, missing home, financially not able to cope with university, or just giving up entirely and not actually bothered to do the work. But whatever those reasons were, that's still quite a high amount. That's nearly a third of those 1,200 students. Again, that's not an accurate representation of how many students there are actually at university, but overall it's out of the however many hundreds of thousands of people that are at university in the UK, it's going to be a rough figure around that. I also found out the top 5 degrees for the highest dropout rates. These can be found on the Telegraph website, and going from 1st to 5th, computer science, engineering and technology, I can't even read my own writing, is that mass communication and documentation, subjects to do with medicine, so medicinal degrees, and creative arts and designs, which is something that I'm affiliated with. I do drama and film, so that doesn't bode well for me, does it? Now when it comes to university, the whole idea out of doing university is that you get a job at the end of it. Now in the 2013-14 academic year, 200,000 graduates from that year are currently working. That is a total of 76.6%. Now that is a really high number and much higher than I anticipated it to be. I thought it was going to be around the mid-60s, maybe high 60s, just creeping up into the 70s, but that's much higher than I anticipated. But again, not every student comes out of university with a guaranteed job, and you're just not guaranteed a job at the end of it. So next I have the top 5 degrees with the highest unemployment rates by degree. Again, going from first to fifth. Computer science and IT, media studies, electrical and electronic engineering, physics and biology. Now, those last two, physics and biology, science subjects, hard subjects, even computer science and engineering, it's those subjects that keep cropping up as the like highest dropout. Or from what I hear from my mates, I got quite a few mates who do, you know, chemical engineering, or there's one who does aeronautical engineering, one who does mechanical engineering, one who does biology, one who does computer science. And not to say I'm not speaking for them, but the workload sounds very impressive, and it's a lot. And I know that a couple of them have been struggling recently, but they're not dropping out. They're fine. They're doing fine. I know they are. But you should take into account that the percentage of the unemployment rates are actually not that high. Computer science and IT, which is number 1 of the unemployment rate, is only 11.4%, which means that there's still 90% either studying, having a job, working, or traveling, and like whatever they might be doing. So should take that into account. Okay, so next is the top 5 degrees with the highest percentage of graduates working in full-time or who furthered their study. Again, by degree, going from first to fifth: civil engineering, mechanical engineering, architecture and building, chemistry, electrical and electronic engineering. Again, electronic and electrical engineering appears on both lists, so if you do study that subject, you shouldn't be alarmed as to why it's on the top 5 highest unemployment rates. But yeah, again, electrical and electronic engineering, 74.3% of graduates are either working or still studying, and that's a really high number, and obviously the ones above it are much higher. If you're studying any of those subjects, well done you chose correctly. Now I'm going to talk about some pros and cons of what I believe are the pros and cons of university. This is quite the opinionated section, so if you don't like my opinion, you might as well just leave the video now. It's okay, you've already given me a view. Yeah, let's get into this. So obviously the biggest negative is it's £9,000 a year, and that is still increasing, and it's been increased to 9,250 recently, and that's going to get increased again within the next 3 or 4 years. Certainly in this government to about 11,000. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of investment. Yeah, it's £9,000 a year. It's not exactly fair. You also leave university with a lot of debt. The average student leaves with about £44,000 worth of debt, according to The Guardian. That's a tremendous amount of money, and that's not going to be paid off. That's not going to be paid off quickly at all, is it? Another negative is you're not guaranteed a job, even if you graduate with a first. I think that's what most people come to university for, is for wanting that job after it. And you're not guaranteed it, which is obviously a shame, but that's the way the world works. There's also a bit of pot luck as to who you're drawn with in your first year of university. I got really lucky, and I was living with some fantastic people who I'm living with them now, still stay in contact with them. I see them every week in the other houses, you know who you are, and I'm grateful for that, I really am. But if you live with people who you don't get on with, if you don't like, if you don't even respect them or talk to them, it's going to put you off from maybe even doing your degree for some, and it's just not nice. Hopefully your course mates are much better than those scumbags that you're living with. Another problem is that you don't have a lot of money to live off of. You have to budget yourself, and you can't afford luxuries, which is a shame. But if you do run out of money, there's always the bank of mum and dad to help out. Okay, moving on to the positives of going to university. I believe this is the biggest positive for university, is that you're studying what you want to study. You go through your whole school life. You go from primary school, You do not get to choose what you want. Secondary school, years 7, 8 and 9, you do not choose what you want to do. GCSEs, you start to choose it. You start to get that little taste of becoming more independent. A-level, you do choose what you want to do, which is great, but you're still at school, which sucks. And then finally university, you choose that one specific thing that you want to study and you want to further yourself in, and you want to be a professional at that. And that is what university gives you. It gives you the chance to be a professional in that field, to be one of the best in the country, in the world maybe. And university is fantastic for that. University is also arguably, it gives you the best opportunity to succeed at life. University, it's hard to put this into words without offending people, but what's going to look better on your CV? That you did a bricklaying course at a college, or you got a 2-1 at university. You might be a really good bricklayer, but you'll look better with a 2-1 from a university. That's not to offend bricklayers out there, because you bricklayers do some fucking good work. Another big positive is that you meet new people, and hopefully they will be your friends for life. And I'm pretty sure that I have made some friends for life here since being at university. If you treat them with respect, they will treat you back with respect, unless they're dickheads. Hopefully for you, you do make friends for life and you stay in contact with them for ages, and they'll be at your wedding, you'll be at their wedding, and they'll be at your funeral, you'll be at their funeral, or whoever dies first, whatever. For me, this is major, moving away from home. Now, from where I'm from, the small village of Louth, there's not a lot to do, and moving away from Louth was one of the key reasons as to why I wanted to move and go to university. University offers so much, and now that I'm in Hull, I'm in a city, the city of culture as well. There is so much here on offer for me to do, and I'm experiencing it all, and I'm loving it. And moving away from home is something that I think most people should do. It broadens your horizons, and it also gives you that, again, that independence that university allows you to have. You learn life skills, you learn how to weekly budget, and cooking even. I've learned how to cook just on my own. I didn't get lessons from my mum or my dad. I've just learned how to do it myself. I'm not great, I'm shit, but you know, still, I cook a good shit meal, whatever. Coming back to the £9,000 issue, yes, it's a lot of money, but the way it's paid back is actually relatively good. It's paid back, I think, I read, do not quote me on this, that you start paying it back once you earn £15,000 and something other. But I also thought it was over £21,000, but anyway, what do I know? I don't know the full facts and figures. I could research it, but I can't be bothered. But yeah, you only pay back your £9,000 a year after you earn a certain amount, so you may not even pay it back at all if you're not lucky enough to work in a job that gives you a decent amount of money, so you can pay that back. Again, that's a flaw with the government, but not to get into a rant. As I touched on this a minute ago, if you're in a city like myself, there is so much to do. Not to discredit universities that are in the middle of a field like Loughborough, but then again, they offer something completely different. But if you're in a city, there's so much to do, and you should take full advantage of that city. Last positive, and I know everyone who's at university can relate to this, nightlife is so much better for me than it is at home. Clubs like Welly, Piper, yeah, they're great. The one club and the one pub cum club at home, they're fine, they're not great. Here, it's a million times better. But if you do go out and you have a 9 AM after, you're going to be unlucky because you're going to be feeling it, or you'll just miss it anyway. But yeah, that is it. Woo. That's a long video. I don't know how long this video is going to be. My camera cut out at a random point, so I've had to actually re-say some of these things. We've got to an end of it now. Yeah, that's it. Oh my god, I'm burping. Oh, Jesus. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next week for week 4.